Programming on 90.7 WKGC and the Commodore Sports Network is sponsored by Sweet Bay. Sweet Bay is a bayfront village in Panama City that features parks, walking trails to the water, a future town center, and more. A community connected at the water's edge, Sweet Bay. More information about Sweet Bay online at sweetbayfl.com or 844-35-SWEET.
Welcome, Commodore fans, to Coach's Corner, a production of Gulf Coast State College's digital media program. I want to thank the folks at Sweet Bay for underwriting Coach's Corner. So, Coach Gaffney and I are going to talk about Commodores and how they played last week. Big games coming up this week. Commodores 9-2 overall. They had a 5-game winning streak going on right now. Coach ranked 6th in the state coaches poll. So, pretty good standing right now.
Well, not where we want to be. 6 is definitely not where we want to be in the state. We want to be top 2 in the state and top 10 in the country, which you're top 2 in the state, you probably will get top 10 in the country. Yeah, but we're getting better. We had two bad losses, Polk and Central Georgia Tech back a while ago, and they were back-to-back games. Had a rough week, didn't play well, and that happens sometimes. You have a tough 4 or 5 day stretch, but other than that, we've been winning. And as we talked previously, James, off air, we have not played well yet. We are not playing well. We're not playing to where we want to be. It's not even close. When we watch the film, we're actually upset with how bad we're playing. But we're 9-2. So there's something to be said that you're doing enough well to win, even though you're really not hitting on all cylinders. But it is December, and you can't win a championship in December, but you can lose a championship in December if you lose enough games. So we know March is when we want to be playing best. So there is some optimism that there's some light at the end of the tunnel if we keep working and grinding and getting better.
So in this case, went on the road. Commodore's been on the road a lot, but went on the road and played South Georgia Tech, won 75-71, 36-34 the first half, 39-37 the second half. Close game, but won both halves, Coach.
Did, and really midway through that second half, we started to play pretty well and kind of got on all cylinders. Torres Watson, a freshman from Great Collegiate and Center Point in Orlando, was a great prep player, 4th in the country, I think, in prep scoring, and he poured in 27 for us. He's been a leading scorer, just really can score the ball, can shoot it, can get to the basket. He's athletic. Really good offensively for us, and to be honest with you, the rest of us weren't doing too well, so we kind of needed all those 27 points to do well. But he just carried us, especially in the second half.
Because you talk about that, I wonder what a game would be like if him and Pierre-Louis both were lighting it up.
Yeah, and Pierre-Louis did not have a great weekend this weekend, but yeah, they're both on fire, and Chase Forte certainly played great floor games for us, whether he's scoring or just playing a great floor game for us. So when we get those 3 guards going, we're really tough. But we really haven't had all 3 guards at the same time. And you're right. If you get Pierre-Louis going and you get Watson going, better watch out.
So it'd be a high-scoring game then, and a game fun to watch. Looking at the stats, you only turn them over 14 times. And I know Coastal Chaos likes to turn people over, Coach. I mean, you're still working on that Coastal Chaos.
We are, and I'm sure we probably turn them over a little bit more than that. I think sometimes when they go back and do the stats, they don't include the team turnovers and things like that. Like a 10-second call is a team turnovers, things like that. But definitely haven't been as much zone gambling pressing as much. Don't have maybe as much depth right now. We're looking to add a couple of guys at the break who we have sitting out, a couple of D1 transfers. And so maybe when we get them, maybe we'll change a little bit strategy-wise. But right now it's more of our man-to-man press and just being aggressive. We do trap out of it, but it's a lot less risky, risk-adverse. But, of course, you're not going to get as many turnovers either.
So in that case, but still a good win for the Commodores. Playing without 2 players that we hope to get back sometime in the season maybe. and as you described, playing ugly, but I'd rather have an ugly win than a pretty loss.
That's right. And South Georgia Tech and Georgia Highlands, who we played this weekend at the Chipotle tournament, were both nationally ranked last week and then the week before that. So South Georgia Tech had just beaten the number 6 team in the country on the road. So they're an extremely talented team. So we're gonna be very happy with that win because they are super talented, and we actually have them again this Thursday at home. So we're hoping to see, we got a close win against them, and we want to see some improvement in that week's time span. Hopefully we get better and do a little bit better job than we did this time.
And so, so in that case, with that, you'll see what happens and where we go from there. Then you lined up and played Georgia Highlands, your old school.
Yes.
Your assistant coach is now the head coach.
Correct.
So there's really no secrets between the two. Ended up winning 78-76. But I understand the second half up by 15 with 4 to go and get a 2-point victory. So they must have had some chaos on their own.
They did the coastal chaos. At the end of the game, they did a tremendous job. They really wore us out, wore us down, did a great job of trapping and making the game crazy. And normally that's the kind of game we love to be in, but they got us, and we played hesitant. And you can't play hesitant. You got to play aggressive. And so I give them all the credit in the world. Great game plan at the end of the game. They did a great job. Forte was outstanding that game with 18 points. I think he had about 9 assists. Just played tremendous for us. Again, Watson, Pierre-Louis didn't have a whole lot that game, but Forte stepped up, and we ended up doing a little bit better than maybe we had thought at the end. Just not good. Up by 15 with 4 to go. Feel great about yourself. Just didn't do as well as we expected that last 4 minutes. Just not at all. So it's back to the drawing board. Let's look at their traps that they did. How can we get better? Because again, as we're playing South Georgia Tech on Thursday, we're going to be playing Georgia Highlands on the 30th of December in our Visit Panama City Beach tournament. So we want to see growth. We want to get better. So 2-point win. Okay, on the road, fine. But now when we come back home, we want to see some growth. And hey, let's get better at what we did and show that all this work we're putting in, not for nothing.
So you're getting better and improving and working hard. Now we'll ease into what we play, and you may want to look at the schedule online because it has us at South Georgia Tech Thursday on our schedule. But it's here.
I will, yes.
I know it's here. So
yes.
So I looked at that, and we're going to play them, and now that's Leon Miller game.
Yes, we have the Leon Miller game. We're playing Thursday, and then we have Florida Southwestern's coming up, and they're going to play South Georgia Tech on Friday. And then Saturday, we're going to play Florida Southwestern. So it's kind of cool. It's not really a tournament. It's just South Georgia Tech, Florida Southwestern, and us all playing. Florida Southwestern was also a couple weeks ago. They were ranked. They were ranked top 5, I think, in the preseason in the country, top 10 anyway. So all these teams we're playing are teams that were nationally ranked at some point this year. So and most of them have been road games. So we welcome the chance to come back home. And of course, Leon Miller was such a legend in the community and has done so much for the community. And one of the teams is coming back. I think it's the 75, 76 teams coming back, and where it's going to be great. They're going to come back. We're going to wine and dine them. We're going to recognize them and celebrate them. And several of them are in the area, and several of them are going to come back. And it's going to be Leon Miller night. It's just going to be a great night for the community and for Gulf Coast State basketball and Panama City and Panama City Beach in general.
So and a really good ball game because South Georgia Tech's not going to want to drop 2 in a row.
No, they're going to be great, and Florida Southwestern is loaded with talent. So Thursday and Saturday's games, again, just like all the games, they're going to be super hard. They're against quality teams. We haven't been at home, James, since the very first game of the year against Florida Coastal Prep. So for us, it's going to be funny to actually break out the new uniforms and be in the home white or the home gray and get a chance to play in front of some home fans.
Yeah, because if you look at South Georgia Tech, they played at Chipotle, lost 99-81. And we know how good Chipotle is, especially at Chipotle. That's the only other than the Commodores, only Panther Conference team they played.
And they were ahead of Chipotle at halftime in that game by 2. So they were up on Chipotle in Saturday's game and ended up getting beaten second half. Chipotle came out and shot the heck out of the ball. But yeah, they were up on them, and they have 3 outstanding players. Their 2 guards are as good as any backcourt will face, and their big man's outstanding. So, but I think all these competitive games, especially, they've all been on the road so far. We played 11 games, 10 have been on the road. It's only going to get us better because you got to play on the road. And it's great to go play 2 games at Chipola because we got to go play there in the season anyway. We just played 3 at Pensacola. Well, we're going to have to go play 2 games at Pensacola anyway, so it's good. We played 2 at Northwest Florida. We're going to have to go play at Northwest Florida, plus that's where the state championship's being played. So we want to get on their courts as much as possible to get used to the settings and used to the environment and see if we can use that to our advantage when we play in the conference and when we play in the state championships.
So, and then we'll play Florida Southwestern, ranked number 5 in the state coaches poll, ranked number 2 in the NJCA national poll right now. So what do you expect out of that game, Coach?
Yeah, they're super talented. It's going to be a lot of fun. Eric's done a great job down there of putting together great talent. The last, he's been there, I think, 3 or 4 years. He took over for Marty, who's at Drake now. Just great program they put together. It's a startup. They've done a great job. They put a lot of money into it. They built a beautiful arena down there in Fort Myers. The quality program, do stuff the right way. They're always in the challenge. I don't think they've ever won the region, the state, but they're always right there. They've been to Hutch several times. They've won games at Hutch. Just a great program. So, hey, if you want to be the best, you got to challenge yourself. So if you look in the state poll, Northwest and Chipola, they're up at the top. We're obviously playing them. Florida Southwestern, we're playing them. Indian River, we scrimmaged. They're number 1 or number 2. So we're playing all the best teams, and it's going to have a cumulative effect of keep playing tough road games. We hope that by the end of the season, all of a sudden you'll see that we're playing our best in March. And it's kind of the formula we did 2 years ago when we went 7-1 against top 25. We hope we can kind of emulate that and do a good job, see if it can be replicated, and maybe we'll have the same result, which was a championship, first one we had in 48 years.
So, well, in this case, if we look at the state coaches poll, Chipola 10-1 right now, number 1. Indian River State, number 2 in the state coaches poll. Northwest Florida's number 3, Santa Fe 4, Florida Southwestern 5, Gulf Coast State College 6, Tallahassee 7, Eastern Florida State 8, Pope State 9th, and State College of Florida to round out that top 10 poll. So, and just because we have just a minute or two, Northwest Florida 11-1, Chipola 10-1, Gulf Coast is 9-2, Tallahassee's 8-3, and Pensacola State 7-4. So that's what you were talking about. It's going to really get hard pretty soon.
Yeah, and the Panhandle, they're all playing really, really well. Chipola's got a few guys hurt, but Coach Tyndall's done a great, great job. Greg Hires getting it done at Northwest. They're as talented as anybody, I think, in the country. They're big, they're long, they're athletic. Wait till you see them, James. Oh. Pete down at Pensacola, he's Pete. He's going to do a great job. It doesn't matter who he has. Oh. He's going to bring those guys in. They're going to battle. And Ricky at Tallahassee, he didn't get the job real early. He got it kind of late, and he did a good job. And they're playing hard and playing well. They're not going to be as talented as Zach's teams were at Tallahassee, but he didn't have as much chance to recruit. They're going to be good. It's crazy. It's going to be a great year. I think that's why it's important we're playing all these difficult games, because all these road games, you say, wow, why would you play 10 in your first 11 on a road? That's kind of stupid. And it probably is. Why are you playing all these teams that have been in the poll? I think every team but 2 we played have been in the national poll. Well, the reason why is because it's going to get you better. So I think by playing all these teams that were ranked high in the preseason or currently ranked or ranked last week, the week before, it's only going to get you better.
It gets you prepared for the panel conference, your strength of schedule. If you get in that national poll or that national tournament, they go back and look at that.
That's right.
And all of those are pluses. So for Coach Phil Gaffney, I'm Jamie Spaxley. I'll be right back, Commodore fans, and talk about how the Lady Commodores did last week and what they got coming up on the Commodore Sports Network.
Programming on 90.7 WKGC and the Commodore Sports Network is sponsored by Sweet Bay. Sweet Bay is a bayfront village in Panama City that features parks, walking trails to the water, a future town center, and more. A community connected at the water's edge, Sweet Bay. More information about Sweet Bay online at sweetbayfl.com or 844-35-SWEET.
Welcome back, Commodore fans, to Coach's Corner, a production of Gulf Coast State College and the digital media program here. Coach Rory and I are going to talk about games they played last week, games coming up this week, where the Lady Commodores are at right now. Lady Commodores 7-2 overall, ranked number 4 in the state coaches poll, and now in the NJCA national poll, Coach, 24th in the country.
We got in there.
so finally broke into that national poll. So Lady Commodores, strength of schedule, what, 4th in the country?
Yeah, last I checked, we were 4 in the country.
So in that case, really comes into play if you get in that national tournament and all that, and go back and look at the strength of schedule. But the other way it comes into play is it kind of prepares you to play in a panel conference, because you are playing nationally ranked teams day after day after day after day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this weekend alone, we played Wallace State, who was a tough team, at Alabama there, and then obviously Shelton State is ranked 6th in the country, and they were every bit worthy of that ranking. They were a really good team, and that would be as close probably to a panhandle team as I would imagine we would see before we actually go into the conference. But they were a really good team. So, but yeah, our strength of schedule, like I've said, we've been road warriors. We just live on the road, and we've been playing anybody and everybody. Like I said, I think Georgia Highlands was ranked 9th when we played them. Seward was in the top 20. Eastern Florida was 17, and now Shelton State 6th in the country. Yeah. So we played 4 nationally ranked opponents, where most teams probably don't do that. Throughout the course of the year, maybe they play 1. We've already had 4 of them, and knocked off 3 of them.
So we did play Wallace State on the 4th, won 72-66. First quarter tied, 19-19. Lady Commodores won the second and third, 17-15, 26-12, and then they come back and won the fourth quarter, 20-10, for a 72-66 win. So a good battle there, Coach.
Yeah, no, it was a good battle. Early on they hit a lot of shots, and I thought we were doing a pretty good job defensively contesting those shots, but it seemed one of those, everything they threw up kind of went in. One kid that I know shot 11% from 3, wound up hitting, I think, 3 or 4 threes that game, and she finished with 21 points.
That's Jenkins. So.
Yeah. So, just things like that, and being on the road, and just, getting used to the environment and playing there. And of course, when other teams hit shots, it gives them confidence. And it's not like we were defending bad at that time. They just hit some shots. So that gave them confidence, kept them in it. And then I think as we settled down, I think we went in about halftime, we were about tied or 2-point game. In the third quarter, we came out and we wound up extending our lead to about 16 at one point. So we settled in and, kind of, obviously Morgan Robinson carried us a little bit that game, being she had 33 points. So she carried us, and then, Amani Smith, added 15, was attacking the rim, and Ava Miller made some big baskets at the end, giving us some and-ones to help give us a little bit of cushion. And they hit that 3 at the buzzer to make the score seem a little closer than it was. But overall, we did what we needed to do in that game, and Morgan was great.
And you turned them over 18 times. That's pretty good turnovers.
Yeah, and we turned them over 18 times. So, that helps when we can get some points out of that.
If you can convert. But
yeah.
So in that case, a good win there. Unfortunately, we played the 6th ranked team in the country and came up short, 68-56. The first quarter, they won 17-7.
Yeah.
And then 18-15. We won the third quarter, 20-18, and then they come back and won the fourth, 15-14, for a 68-56 loss against the 6th ranked team in the country.
Yeah, and that game, literally, it was a great crowd. Okay, so they had that place packed out. It was their Super Bowl. They really wanted to beat us. They were hyping it up on social media, all that stuff. They had cheerleaders. Like, the place was packed, and it was a loud gymnasium. It was a great environment, a good atmosphere for us to even be playing in, because it does give you that panhandle feel. Yeah. If you are going to a state tournament or a national tournament, it has that kind of feel. Which was good. But the beginning of the game, Morgan Robinson picked up 2 offensive charges that could have gone either way. I would have been happy with a split, but they didn't, and that puts 2 fouls on her, and then you have to kind of adjust. And, we made some adjustments from what we could do with foul trouble, and then, our best defender, Keontae, she picked up 2 fouls. They called 2 little hand check fouls. So just getting used to, again, how the refs call it, and, we had to adjust from there. And to Shelton's credit, every single time that we did make a little run to try to cut it, and we did a bunch of times, they always answered back, and they always scored. And it was one of those games, too. They banked in a 3. One time we got a deflection, tipped the ball went right up in the air and landed in the basket. I mean, you don't see that too often. So things were all clicking for them, and we weren't really clicking and never got really into a rhythm or a flow of the game. And they're a really good team. I mean, really good. I mean, that game, I left saying, I was happy that we can compete with the 6th-ranked team in the country. There's no doubt we can. And, obviously missing one starter, kind of impacted the game.
I'm going to say, you were you have a short bench as it is.
Yeah.
But it was even shorter this weekend.
It was even shorter. So I had a starter and a boot. Morgan at the end of the game got hit in the ribs, and she's going to maybe need some time. Another girl comes off the bench, Maddie, who's a rebounding, presence for us and energy. She strained her hamstring, so I couldn't play her in the second half. And then Amani on my team, she jammed her finger pretty bad, so she had that thing taped up. So, we were the walking wounded for the weekend, and, but not having Anaya obviously impacts the game. So, and then you throw foul trouble in the mix, and, people are not in their normal roles that they're used to from what I talked about with you last week. They kind of know what I expect out of them, and what they need to do. And now you take a starter out, everybody else is kind of now in different spots and moving around. So we just got to get back and, get everybody healthy and get comfortable. But, I mean, Shelton was a really good team. So, I mean, they're every bit worthy of that ranking that they have. So it was a good test and a good game.
Oh, Coach Madonna does a nice job up there. Always makes it to the national tournament, makes a good run in the national tournament. She's been in the Final Four several times and has given us a loss at that national tournament before. So.
Oh, yeah. They're definitely a national tournament team,
So they're not anybody. That rivalry started when Coach Scoville was here. They like playing each other because they know they're going to see each other, and we go and play them, and it's always a good battle. So let's talk a little bit now about what Lady Commodores have coming up. Let me get to the right page.
Yeah, we go on the road this weekend. We head down to Fort Myers, where we got 3 games in a row. So we got Miami-Dade, who we already played.
They beat Tallahassee. I always go out and look and see if there's somebody in the panel conference.
Absolutely.
They got them 84-62, but other than that, they're 4-10 right now. What do you know about them, Coach?
Well, we played them the one time, so I mean, we already beat them. We were full strength though, and we were clicking on all cylinders, and everybody was pretty good. So I do know they're big. They've got a lot of size. So you play a team one time. I think we beat them. I don't remember what it was, around 20 or something. But you just don't want to take anybody lightly. So that's what you don't want to do. You want to come out with the same energy, intensity, fire, and just try to literally do what we did last time because it was a 20-point victory.
Well, in this case, you have to be careful because the girls will remember that, and most of the other panel conference teams has beat Miami-Dade pretty handily. So that's a game you have to be careful of because you can look past it a little bit and
absolutely
find yourself.
That's what I mean. You don't take anybody lightly. Don't do that.
Then we play Indian River State, 7-4 overall. They beat Tallahassee, but most folks are beating Tallahassee right now.
Now that team's, to your point about being light, is going to be a tricky one because they're 7-4, but their best player hasn't played at all. But their best player is going to be playing against us.
Oh, naturally.
Shocking, right? Yeah. So, and I think she averaged about 20 points a game last year for them. So they have a very good player that's coming back and will be playing against us. So another team you don't want to take lightly, and they're tough, they're scrappy, they play hard. So that's also an important game, and they're a good team. And then obviously you end with Florida Southwestern on their home court, who's ranked
fifth in the state.
Yeah,
right
fifth
now.
in the state, but they're also in the national poll, I think, at 10 or 11, something like that. So they're up there, and obviously, like Shelton State, you're on their home court. Like Eastern Florida, you're on their home court. Like those are tough away games, so you got to be really locked in, and it's your last game before the Christmas break.
Right.
So, got to keep our focus.
Yeah, because in that case, it's hard not to carry that over with you because you can go, if you drop that game, you always want your last game for the break to pick up a W. If you can pick up a W against
always
Florida Southwestern, man, that's a big W.
It's a big one, absolutely.
You know, because like you said, when we come back in January, we tie them on. It's for real then.
Yeah,
so.
no, we got those three games after the Christmas break, you know, and then it's the conference and we roll. You know?
So in that case, if we look at the state coaches poll right quick, I think they have it back there. They don't. Northwest is in ranked number 1, Chipola 2, Pensacola State 3, Gulf Coast State College 4, Florida Southwestern 5, Eastern Florida State 6, Daytona State 7th, Santa Fe 8th, Indian River State College 9th, and Hillsburg rounds out the top 10. And then if we look at the coaches or the national poll, now that's the updated coaches poll, but the national tournament poll is lagging somewhere. Northwest Florida State College, which is who we'll open with in January, ranked number 1 in the country. Chipola, ranked number 2 in the country. Florida Southwestern's ranked 12th. Pensacola State's ranked 19th. Gulf Coast State College is ranked 24th in the country. So, but you knew about the Panhandle Conference because of coaching at Northwest Florida State College, so it's not a secret that, wow, this is a tough conference to be in.
It's no secret and no surprise to me, you know, and like I said, being at Northwest when we were there, like, I know what it's like to coach and get kids ready when you have a bullseye on your back. I'm not saying we have the bullseye on our back now. That's obviously Northwest and Chipola being at 1 and 2. So we're in a little bit of a different, you know, position, but still you get everybody's best game, and everybody knows what the Panhandle Conference, what it is, and that it is in fact the best conference in the country. So like I said, you got to bring it every night. I mean, even, you know, we talk about people saying Tallahassee, right? If you fall asleep against Tallahassee, you can still lose that game. You know what I mean? So I mean, you just every night you got to bring it, and we beat each other up. You know, you play each other 3 times. You know, it's hard. So, like, the strength of our conference really prepares you for the national scene.
So, and in that case, in that conference run, we'll beat each other up, and that affects us in the national poll.
Yeah.
You know, because we're playing a nationally ranked team every game. Normally in a conference, you may have 1, 2, maybe 3 teams in your conference, but you have a night that you can kind of breathe. No breathing in Panhandle.
No, there's no breathing. You're holding your breath most of the time.
So if you look at it, you know, Chipola right now 12-0, Pensacola State College 10-0. Much improved. They're getting better and better every year. They were tough last year, and a lot of these teams, Northwest 9-0. They brought back a lot of players because everybody played for free last year.
Yeah, you get that COVID year, you get some players back, and, you know, they're returning a lot to a national championship team. And Penny's team over there, Pensacola, we've seen them. They're really tough. You know, they play well. And Chipola's always tough. So, I mean, you know, the conference it's no joke. That's for sure.
And in this case, Coach, though, look at what you've done. You're 7-2, ranked 4th and 24th, and you had about 10 days to recruit. We can't imagine what you're going to do if you have a complete year to coach.
I mean,
recruit.
I'll personally like that. That'll be nice. You know, get a little time to settle in. But I appreciate that. And as crazy as it's been a lot of fun. You know, and I'm happy with the kids that I got and the way they're buying in and getting better and better. And, you know, even under the short circumstances, I'm really happy with the team and the way they're representing, you know, not just me, but the college, you know, and they've been a great, you know, face in the community, both on and off the court. So I'm really happy with the group.
Yep. So Lady Commodores playing well thus far, getting ready. A few more tune-up games, then the Panhandle Conference starts, which is what all Commodore fans are waiting for. So for Coach Roy, I'm James Baxley. Thanks for watching, Commodore fans, and we'll see you next time on the Commodore Sports Network.